I'm Dan Morris, you're watching Bosun Dan Bushcraft, and today it's welcome to the Bosun Dan Bistro, because today we are going backwards to an older idea from a previous video that I had, where I made the twin burner tuna can stove that runs on wax. Now, that got me thinking. We see a lot of these ideas in bushcraft. Obviously there's always somebody with a new, you can make this, you can do that, you can do the other. What we don't really see people doing so much with those ideas is using them. They'll boil a kettle with them, or, you know, light a fire with them, or whatever. But do they ever actually use them for what they are? So I was thinking, with this tuna can stove, what are the limitations? How far can we push it? So, now I haven't gone too mad. What I've done is pushed it to the 4-burner tuna can stove. And today we are going to actually have a jolly good cook on the damn thing and see if it is actually functional. So, I shall just walk you through the design here. It's quite a simple design. It is exactly the same as the twin burner one in its build, its construction. If you haven't seen the twin burner one, do go check that out, because it's a useful thing. Anyway, so obviously it's just a wooden table. It's just a folding table, and I have my burners, different sizes, so different size wicks to generate different amounts of heat. So the big chappy here would be good for frying, something where you need a lot of heat and you need it quick. And then we've got the old water boilers, really, for when you're leaving something simmering. And then I've just got the old tinfoil windshield like I did in the last one. And I'm hoping that this will actually be quite a practical, usable little thing. Well then, let's get on with it. Firstly though, before we do start cooking, won't get very far without the correct attire. After all, today we are chefing, so we may as well look the part. I have tucked myself into a handy little part of the garden where I do have a bench I can sit on when I get bored of standing up. Lovely, got to protect the old bushcraft robes underneath, and not sure this is going to fit. Yeah, I feel more like a chef already. A bit of silliness. Right, let's get this thing lit anyway. We're going to need 3 to start off with, so let's get this sucker going and see if we can't achieve what we want to. So, whilst that gets burning properly, because it's going to be quite smoky until it's burning correctly, we'll just let that warm up, and let's take a look at what we are going to be cooking. So, if you've been watching my more recent videos, this will come as no surprise. We are going to be boiling a lovely haggis, courtesy of the Port of Lancashire Smokehouse. A lovely nice haggis there. I do love haggis. I've got a bit of a haggis addiction just lately. That is all still burning. And once again, we're going to be going for the smoked venison sausage. Very, very nice. Yes, I can. They smell delightful. Even they're not even cooked. And just because we want to be a little bit posh today, we're also going to go with some nice boiled asparagus, just to add that little extra flair. So, really, oh, it's already getting warm. That one's taking its time. I think what I might do is give that one a bigger burner just until the water's hot, and then we can slow simmer it once the water's heated up. So this one's a new burner. It's going to take a little while to get going. So it's only been a couple of minutes and already that water is getting about boiling temperature, which is what we want. Haggis first, because the haggis takes a bit longer to boil than everything else. And we'll fry the venison sausage last because they're going to fry quite quick. I can already get the feeling of that. Lovely. Well, that one's hot enough to dunk the haggis in. Perfect. I have to say, so far so good. It's putting up with the wind quite well. Yeah, it's a smoky bit of a beast and it is charring up the pans, but oh well, can always clean them. How about this chap? That's getting warmer. That's for the asparagus, so that not going to take more than a few minutes to sort out, so it's not like that needs to be roaring hot just yet. But the haggis pan has really taken the temperature very quickly. That's too hot to keep a finger in. Straight off the bat. Yeah, so far so good, it's working. Woo! So, it looks to me like my asparagus pan is pretty much ready. I've trimmed these down to a more usable size because we've only got these little pans. These little pans are actually out of Matilda. Beautiful. Get you in there. Magic. Bit of time now. I think I might have to get myself a vitamin coffee and let this just simmer away. Let's have a go. Ooh. That is very hot. Very hot. Good. Lovely. It's going rather well so far. Which is good. I mean, obviously, really, it should do, shouldn't it? Because it is just a heat source. And when I did the 2-burner version, I did just boil a kettle on it. But it just makes me wonder how simple can you get away with these sorts of things and have them working. Now, if you are like me, building yourself a little bushcraft spot, or if you have somewhere you go regular, this is a tiny little folding table, and with scrap wax and cardboard tuna cans and a handful of screws, I've got a 4-burner hob that I can use pans on, that I can organise like you would your normal cooker at home. To me, it seems like quite a practical little idea if you've got a camp set up. Obviously, I am not suggesting we fasten this to our backpacks and go trooping around the hills with it. For that, you would just take the actual tuna can burner and poke some sticks in the ground and use them to hold your pan off. You get away with boiling a kettle before your sticks burn through. So again, it's as practical as you'd make it versus where exactly you want to use it and what you want to do with it. So this is possibly an extremer version of it, because I have gone a little bit all in, having the 4 burners. To be fair, if the table was bigger, I was going to put a 5th burner right in the middle and have that as like the wok cooking ring. Didn't need to do that for today's video, so I have kept it simple. Anywho, while this is getting proper stewing away, I am going to go grab myself a nice sexy vitamin coffee. And it does look quite smoky, it doesn't smell bad though, so you know, and it's only a bit of soot. It'll soon clean off these pans. And if it doesn't, then I'm buying Matilda a nice set of lovely pans. But to be fair, these pans are old as the hills. They actually came out of my grandparents' caravan when they got a little too old to be towing caravans around and decided they'd switch to hotels. Before the caravan was sold on, I had the pans and had them ever since. And I'll be totally honest, when I'm camping in Matilda, I don't really do that much cooking on the van's actual stove itself. I usually just get a bag of charcoal and a bucket and I'll just roast meat over it. I don't really, you know. The last thing that these pans were actually used to cook was just boiling my son some noodles, because he absolutely adores these little packaged noodles. And now I've mentioned noodles, I wonder who's going to be in the comments saying, Dan, you haven't eaten them noodles yet. I'll get to it, I'll get to it. Lovely, right. Oh, hot. That's working nicely. I think I might be better off just piercing that skin, actually. I don't want it to explode in my face, so let's let a bit of that pressure out. There we go. Hot. Magic. Now at some point when that haggis is really boiling, I'm going to transfer it onto the smaller burner over there, and that'll just sit and simmer for me because I need this one to fry with. And quick tip, because I did this slightly wrong yesterday, this burner in the corner here, I said earlier it's a new burner, and what I mean by that is I literally made it like yesterday. I made a little bit of an error when I made that. The cardboard that I used for the wick was actually off a dog food box, and it's got that glossy picture layer on one side. Don't use that. Use cardboard that's just brown cardboard both sides. The shiny side does not work very well for absorbing the wax. So this burner, although it is working on this side, it is not the best one, and it is just because I used cardboard that's got one shiny printed side. So save yourselves a bit of aggro with that. Make sure it's good, clean cardboard, you know, an Amazon box or any other generic bit of cardboard. As long as it's not shiny printed, that will be cool. Vitamin coffee. Vitamin coffee in the Eeyore cup again. Why Eeyore? Because he always drinks coffee. Apologies for that. This is going really well though. The haggis is having a jolly good old boil. Nice, slow, consistent boil. That's beautiful. My big concern with this always was too hot. If it's too hot, what can you do? It's not like you can turn it down like a gas ring or an electric cooker. It's actually holding it just on the boil really quite nicely. And obviously, because it's done that for so, and I will know that basically when that starts boiling more furiously, that means the haggis is pretty much cooked through, because obviously what is slowing that boil down is the temperature. The haggis is basically taking the heat out of the water for itself. So when that does start to furiously boil, that means everything in there has reached that boiling temperature. So it's a bit of an indication that it's close to ready. The asparagus is just slowly boiling itself away. I would have preferred to steam it actually, but we have what we have. It's going rather well. Haggis is about ready. The haggis is ready to go on the smaller ring, really. A bit less temperature so it doesn't boil furiously. Oh, perfect fit. Now when you are putting these things out, I did say on the last one with the 2 burner, you have to use a snuffer. I've just made it a snuffer out of tin foil, and I'm just going to drop that on there. Yeah, they won't blow out. If you blow them out, you're just going to blow hot wax everywhere. So you're better off just smother them, let it cool down a bit, and it'll be fine. And that haggis will just sit there now and hold its nice gentler temperature over there, freeing up this ring so we can get some frying on. Now, aside from the delicious smell of gently cooking haggis, because I used a lot of recycled wax to make these burners, a lot of Christmas candles have ended up sneaking in there. So this whole thing smells fantastic. It smells like cooking haggis and Christmas. It smells beautiful here today. Even though it looks a little smoky, it smells really good. So these 2 cooking rings, I've made them so one of them's got the really small wick. If you saw the tuna can lamp video I did, not the most impressive thing I've ever made, I'll give you, but it worked. And that burner is the tuna can lamp burner where it just had the little central wick piece, because it was designed for light, not particularly heat. But the advantage of that is you get a nice small stable flame, so when you want your simmering temperature, that's what you want, whereas the ones that are full of wick, obviously they're going to belt heat out quite a lot. What's surprising is, considering I am outside, just how stable it is actually working. It's, to be fair, it is behaving itself really rather nicely. That little tinfoil windshield it's got around it makes a hell of a difference. I wouldn't want to use it without that. It's not massively windy today. We're getting the occasional little gust come through, but that tinfoil's dealing with that really rather well. What I will say is, if you're using pans like mine that have these Bakelite-y plasticky handles on them, be careful where you put your handle. In the wind, the flame will tend to go one way more than others, so just keep your handles out of the way so they don't melt. And we'll clean them up later on. The asparagus water is starting to go a little green, which is good. If it's boiling the green out of it, then that means it's boiling it quite nice. The only thing is, I've got to get the timing right on this, because I don't want the asparagus too soft. I want it with a little crunch. I'm not really a fan of vegetables anyway. I'm not a big veg guy. But any vegetables I do eat, I prefer to have them quite crunchy. My biggest bugbear with most veg is that people boil them until they just turn into mush. And, I'd rather them have a bit of crunch about them. Brussels sprouts are one for me. I deplore them. I think they're absolutely disgusting. I think they're just evil little cabbages. They're horrible. But I like them when they're raw. I will eat raw Brussels sprouts. Most people are probably listening to that and going, "Oh, what?" Like, yep. But I will eat a raw Brussels. I think they're quite nice raw. Really, I think we're only about 10 minutes away from getting the old frying going, actually. The haggis is getting nice and soft in there. Temperature check. Yep. That has cooled down a little on this little burner, which is what's going to happen. Which is good though, because that's holding it at a nice steady pace for me, because I don't want to overdo it before I'm ready to fry the sausage. Oh, look at that simmer. Just steaming away, nice and controlled, nice and easy. I'm not even going to lie, I've just wandered off in the house and made myself another brew and just wandered about a bit. I haven't been sat with it the entire time. It's really stable. I can't get over how well behaved it's actually been. It's doing really good. But it's time to get that other burner going, I think, and start frying. Buddy, that's not for you. Oi, what are you doing? That's just an empty box, mate. Don't worry, I'll give you a venison sausage later on. Let's grab up my tiny towel. What are you doing, dog? You just want to be on camera? That's what it is. Hey. I know, we got enough of your hair knocking about, thank you. What are you doing? Come on, I don't want you. No, matey, because if you knock these pans off, you're going to be blanched in hot water. Go on away with you. Right. I know you can smell it. I'll give you some in a bit. You have to be patient, matey. It's not even cooked yet. Yeah, not ready. No, go on, be away with you. Right, let's get this burner going. It's time for frying. The dog's obviously getting starving. It is my own fault that he's so intrusive, because every time I'm cooking venison, or ox heart's his favourite, because there's a lot of like offally bits and the valves on the top of it and stuff that I don't particularly want. So as soon as he smells that cooking, he just stands and stares at me, because he knows that there'll be loads of bits of it I'm not going to have, and I'll just give them to him. So it's my own fault. I kind of spoilt him with all these fancy game meats and things. They are a little trickier to light outside, but once they get going, they're pretty much windproof. Like, I haven't had to relight any of them yet. The wind hasn't put them out. So this tiny frying pan, again, is out of Matilda, and even though it's tiny, it's ridiculously heavy. It is very, very thick metal. It does say on the bottom of this pan as well, suitable for all stoves. I'm like, oh, well, that's convenient. They probably didn't have this one in mind, though, when they said that. Lovely. Let's get these venison sausages as and you reappear. Oh, they've done that silly thing where they're still tied together. Them are keys, buddy. I don't think you want them. Lovely. Venison is such a delicious, soft, delicate meat. It really is nice. And that's that pan full. I know, mate, but I don't think I should give you a raw sausage. I'll cook them for you. Yeah. Oh, 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 I can already hear the noise. I can hear it frying. Woo-hoo-hoo. That was quick. I'm quite impressed, I really am. I mean, I knew it was going to work, otherwise I wouldn't have bothered doing it if I didn't thoroughly believe it was going to work. With oboe. Listen at that. Magic. Where'd my fork go? Temperature check. Yep, good and hot. All burning away. Softening up, but still a bit of crunch coming in them. Yes. Oh, it is a good day at the Bosun Dam Bistro. Yes. Haggis skin has ruptured, so that's telling you it's getting all nice and hot in there. Listen at that. Oh, yes. That is working stupendously well. This sausage smells like it's got like red wine or something in it. It's some sort of beer or guys. It smells fantastic. Oh, you guys can't smell it, but wow. This smells beautiful. I'm nearly done here. We're nearly ready. We'll be plating up any minute. I tell you what, as well, the bottom of this frying pan, these sausages have basically made their own beautiful gravy sauce. Oh. If I was making an ever stew at the same time, that would go straight in it. I would just tip that straight in. All of that lovely juice. Look at that. Nom nom nom, that is delightful. Get a bit more of that sauce. Scott. Oh! The haggis water looks a bit funny. I've just thrown those other leftover sausages in for the dog. That is seriously about ready. I don't want to underdo the sausage though, is the thing. That's so good. Oh, I better start putting these out now and where's my snuffer? Haggis first. Okay. That burner has gone out now. And now, a nice plate of glorious hot meats. Adobo. Yes. Do you know, weirdly, I'm going to go for the asparagus first. Just the right amount of crunch. Mmm. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I bet you want some, don't you, little doggy? Can you smell it? It's hot though. Hot. Yeah, you lick those lips. There you go. Try chewing. So really, what we've done is just prove the absolute viability, because I know a lot of people will watch these things where they see things like the tuna stove and they'll think, yeah, it's crap. They're not. They work. I mean, they really work. That has been... It was far easier to manage that than I thought it was going to be. Mmm. That is absolutely delicious. It really is. I would have done this in the woods, save for carrying pans. That's the only reason I didn't. But could you imagine, sat there in the woods with the asparagus, haggis, and Lancashire smokehouse sausage. I know I cook a lot of stuff on this channel, but I have really outdone myself with this. This is gorgeous. Mmm. I can see you. You want more sausage, mate? I've got two there for you, waiting when you... There you go. Ow, the sausage, not my hand. Now that haggis actually, it seems bigger now I've cooked it. And the swinging bench just makes it an intensely pleasurable experience. Gosh, I spoil myself. But then, it only takes simple things to make me happy, so... I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to finish all this on my own. I forgot how much I love asparagus. As far as green things go, I'm not really that keen, but this stuff's lovely. I know you won't want asparagus, will you? My little friend down there. You always love me when I'm cooking meat, don't you? It's just nice to show one of these crazy ideas in action and working properly, because obviously, you know, with the first version it kind of looks like I'm saying you can make this and you can boil water and you can make yourself soup or beans, but actually the only limitation is your own creativeness. That is so good. Well then guys, we've most definitely proved that the tuna can stove idea is a viable cooking system. I don't know if anybody else out there has ever done it the way that I have. using the screws as pan holders, and you know, I've kind of jazzed it up a bit really. I don't know if anyone else has beat me to the punch on that or not. I didn't check too much, but as an idea, that really worked, and I'm really quite pleased with that. And like I say, those burners, they've got another couple of goes at that before they're going to need more wax, so it's actually really quite efficient. I'm quite pleased with it. But that's really all we need to do for today. We've proved that it's a great idea, and you can basically make a full-on cooker out of it. Oh, so as always, guys, get out there, get having fun, be safe, get bushcrafting, get finding new and more creative ways to cook whilst we're out and about in the woods. As it says, like, share, subscribe, woo! With my lovely little chefy apron. So like, share, subscribe, all that whatnot. Be safe in everything that you're doing. Remember, obviously, hot wax and stuff, you know. Shouldn't really need to tell people not to set themselves on fire. I'm pretty sure we're all pretty decent at that, because if not, we'd be all on fire, and that hurts. But really, guys, other than to say a thank you for watching, that is all from Bosun Dan today. I shall catch you on the next one. Right now I'm going to go and slip into a haggis related coma, as that haggis actually came out a lot larger than I thought it was going to. But it is delicious. But other than that, folks, that's all from Bosun Dan. And I'll catch you on the next one.